We're on.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Grange TV. I just want to apologise again. We're 15 minutes late because it took Eli that long to get the count going. Thank you very much. We have our first international guest here, Mr. Jake Shields. Can I just read the resume real quick? Tell me if I leave something out. You were the Rumble on the Rock welterweight champion, the Elite XC welterweight champion, former shooter welterweight champion, Strikeforce middleweight champion, and you fought for the UFC title.
Yep, that is correct.
You also placed very highly in high school wrestling.
I did okay. I took like third in state, so it's like California, so decent.
And in freestyle, did you wrestle freestyle?
I wrestled some freestyle too, yeah. So
did I read somewhere that you came second at
AAU Nationals?
So yeah, you came second at AAU Nationals. That's pretty big time, isn't it?
It's decent. There's bigger ones, but yeah, I was a good wrestler, but not like amazing. I wasn't like that elite level like some of the guys out there, but I was a decent wrestler, and then I kind of transferred over to jiu-jitsu and MMA.
Okay. Also, before I forget, we have Rob Whittaker here, and
he stopped by too.
Yeah, he stopped by to do his own podcast. Yeah. And Mr. Eli Hedges and Andrew, who's also helping to look after Jake.
It's a pretty nice studio you guys got.
It's a little granny flat. KAPLAN Homes.
Shout out.
KAPLAN Homes makes the homes and the studio and whatnot. So this is why we're lucky enough to have this.
Awesome.
Get a nice wall going.
Yeah, he's going to make a feature wall and everything.
Get a painting on here and stuff.
Yeah, I think so. It's probably going to be Andrew. He's the guy that owns KAPLAN Homes.
Also fixed the lighting problem we were having.
Yeah.
People in the comment section are always saying, the shadowing, you can't see it, blah, blah, blah.
So yeah, I got him fix it then.
Yeah, you got to keep all
my lighting better be good.
Yeah, 100%. You got to keep the 13-year-olds happy. That
Heaven forbid there's a little bit of shadowing.
Fuck, I'm sure their lives are perfect.
No shadows.
What do you guys think of the main event yesterday? Gaethje versus Cerrone.
I thought Gaethje looked great. I thought he was a little more controlled. Sometimes he gets a little reckless. Seemed a little timing his striking great and looked really good.
Yeah, phenomenal. Oh yeah, those calf kicks were super effective. Like he just started nailing him with those calf kicks. Whenever Cerrone would try to keep him at that mid range, which he's so good at, He's so good at keeping him in that mid range, keeping you in that mid range, so he can really utilize his boxing. But Gaethje was either pressing forward into that close range, making it that fight that Cerrone doesn't like, or chopping at the calf kicks. Even when Cerrone was bringing the leg up, he was still copping the calf muscle. Exactly.
Yeah, I was impressed. Because Gaethje's always a great fighter, but he looked like a little more technical and tactical this time, which is he usually goes out there just trading wild shots, and this time he looked a little more measured in what he was doing.
Have you felt that in like his last few fights, opposed to like when he first broke into the UFC? I feel like when he first broke into the UFC, he was kind of reckless.
Yeah, exactly. I think he was definitely a little reckless, and his whole attitude, he wants to be as exciting as he can, but I think he's maybe also realizing he needs to not take quite as much damage too, finding that balance.
Yeah, because like when he fought Alvarez, he was like, I'm going to see who's tougher sort of fight.
Exactly. He likes to fall he has fallen for punch, and he looked like he wasn't quite. He was still being super aggressive, but not quite that wild.
Because he's super technical, and he's a great fighter.
Yeah,
he has the skill sets to fight the game like he fought with Cerrone and Barboza as well. So.
He's a 3-time All-American too in wrestling, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a really good wrestler. I'm not sure his exact credentials, but I know he's an All-American. He might be 3-time. Yeah, he's like a really high-level wrestler. So that's what a lot of people don't realize because he hardly ever uses it.
Hey, can you explain to us like how good an All-American is? Because obviously in Australia we don't have.
It can get kind of confusing because there's like different divisions.
Did you wrestle in college too? Because you got a scholarship to go to.
Yeah, I wrestled, but only a couple years. I didn't finish because I started fighting and I got more into fighting. And I was like, that's more fun than wrestling. Wrestling is a tough sport. But yeah, Gaethje, I'm pretty sure is Division I, which is like the highest level All-American. So that's like really tough to get. Like there's getting there there's thousands of wrestlers trying to compete for those positions. So it's Americans are really
top
wrestlers.
8 that gets All-American?
Yeah, top 8, which is not too easy to do.
In the whole division nationwide,
Yeah, and I think personally, I think the American style of wrestling is probably the best for MMA.
The folk style,
Yeah, because most international wrestling, they don't do much ground wrestling. With American styles, they do the obviously takedowns, but there's also a lot of mat wrestling, which is why you see better control with American wrestlers.
What was the transition like for you from folk style to jiu-jitsu submission wrestling?
I was able to transfer over pretty easy, I think, because I was always really comfortable on the mat. I think wrestlers that are comfortable on the mat can transfer over to jiu-jitsu a lot easier, because I was always good at like flowing on the ground. So.
That was always your thing, to ride and escape?
I like takedowns too, but I like riding people. I was like a leg rider and stuff, so jiu-jitsu felt kind of natural, trying to take you guys back and choke them.
Did you feel a lot of pressure from people when you fought because your game's always been grapple heavy game and whatnot, to do more striking to stand with people or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, people try to pressure me, but I've always stuck with, grappling was always my preference, so I always tried to keep taking it there. I wasn't going to listen to people trying to tell me how I should fight.
And, we're very much on that bandwagon. Like, if you get held down the entire round or the entire fight, you lost, dude.
Yeah, learn to get up. It ain't my problem. You can't get up.
Yeah, like if you get held down.
You can bitch about it, but you're losing the fight.
If you get held down the entire fight, you lost.
Yeah, guys need to learn to get up.
100%. But
how do you see this fight that's coming up, Masvidal and Nate Diaz?
Oh man, that's going to be great. I mean, obviously I'm really close to Nate and I see him winning, but I'm a fan of Masvidal too. He's super tough, good striker. It's a good fight. They both got good striking. I think Nate's a little better boxer, better jiu-jitsu, so I definitely give the advantage to Nate. But you can't look past a guy like Masvidal, especially his last couple fights, those big knockouts.
Masvidal's got. I think he's got good, very, very, very good boxing, and his wrestling's real good. I think people underestimate his wrestling.
Oh yeah, it's not an easy fight by any means. That's why it's such a.
That's going to be crazy.
But I think over 5 rounds, and you know what? I don't know. Maybe you can tell me better because you're obviously much closer to Nate. But I feel like in Nate's last few fights, he's shelling up and covering, and the way he avoids taking like those big shots, he's gotten much better.
Yeah, his boxing's really good. He's hard to land clean shots on.
Like I feel from McGregor to now, like it's just gotten much better than it was.
Yeah, it's just crazy. He took that 3-year layoff. People think he's like, going to come in out of shape, rusty, but he's been training the whole time. So a lot of guys take time off, but Nate, he just kept training. He was ready to fight the whole time. He just, wasn't able to come to any agreements with the UFC.
Yeah, because in Nate's last fight, he was like shelling up a lot of the shots. He didn't take any big shots. He didn't have to. He was moving well, and the way he was angling his face and his shoulders and stuff, like he was just taking the shots in places he could take them. I think that's going to be super effective against Masvidal, especially over 5 rounds, eh?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Nate's phenomenal shape. He knows how to not blow his energy. It's definitely favors him in a 5-rounder.
Yeah.
But like I said, Masvidal is one of those tough guys that not someone you look past.
Yeah.
I mean, I cornered Gil Melendez against Masvidal a while ago. I remember that was it was one of those fights. Masvidal wasn't a big name at the time, and I was watching this guy's fights. Like, man, this is a tough guy we're fighting.
Yeah.
So.
Gil Melendez is very, very good.
Yeah, he beat Masvidal, but it was a tough fight. That was one of those ones that was. So I've helped train guys against him before, and he's definitely someone who's tough.
Yeah, man. I've followed his career the whole way through. So how did it all start for you? You went and Chuck Liddell you trained with first day, yeah.
Yeah, I was wrestling in college, and the assistant coach there was good friends with Chuck. So we'd like mess around with submission grappling, and he was telling me about this guy Chuck. So I went in and I saw Chuck, he had his mohawk, the Campo tattoos. I'm like, this guy ain't gonna be that tough. I could take him. I was young, I think you're invincible.
Wait, I want to know what exactly was it that made you think about you could take Chuck? Not that you couldn't, because you're formidable in your own right. But what made you go, that guy's a pussy?
I think it was the mohawk and the Campo tattoo. I'm like, Campo, karate, that's gay.
What else was he wearing that might have made you think that? I don't know.
He just had because you got to figure back then, the Liddell, he made that hairdo. Like, look at that guy. I'm like, this funny hairdo, tattoos on his head, a Campo tattoo. Like, this guy can't be tough. Yeah. And then, unfortunately, I was wrong. Got in, he's beat the crap out of me.
Oh, you sparred straight away, first day?
I think pretty early on, yeah. And Chuck, he wasn't he was pretty nice. He wasn't trying to knock me out, but he was hitting me some blows. Some pretty good body shots, that's for sure. Got a liver shot or two, and I was like, this sucks.
But he was a Division I wrestler too.
Yeah, I think he's a really good wrestler. So I'm trying to take him down, thinking it's going to be easy. And then you realize he's so big, tall, strong, stopping my shots, hitting me in the liver. It was like, okay, this is not fun.
I can imagine, I can imagine then you guys have got the gloves on, and obviously he's a good striker, and you're like, okay, I'm going to play to my strengths. I'm going to take him down.
I'm taking him down.
And he's just stuffing your shots.
Stuffing me up. And I'm sure, having never been hit in the liver, the first liver shots there did not feel good. You're like, that's...
Oh, so that was the first time you got...
that was the first time I've ever been hit in the liver. It was a Chuck Liddell body shot. You're kind of like...
Pop your liver cherry, if you would.
Yeah, you're like, okay, this is not fun.
Everybody remembers the first time.
Yeah, it's just some guys like, they've never been hit in the liver. Sometimes you guys drop and you're like, that guy's weak. But you can literally just seize your body up where you can't move. I
try to explain it to people. They're like, when they see like the casual fans, they see people drop and stuff. It's not getting winded.
No, it's different.
Getting winded, I could still run and do stuff if I had to. Like getting hit in the liver, your body shuts down.
Your body can physically just shut down where you can't move. It's like the worst feeling.
Yeah, you curl up on yourself.
It's like you want to shit your pants and cry for your mom.
Yeah. So after Chuck beat me up, I'm like, okay, I want to learn this.
And that was your first foray into MMA.
I don't think Chuck was the very first guy I went with. I think I grappled a couple other guys first, and I'm like, oh, I want to get in that guy, and then it didn't go as well as I thought. So
I'm like, okay, all the people that do, you're like, I want that guy.
That guy with a Kempo tattoo. Well, I'd watched like the first couple UFCs where the wrestlers were beating up the karate guys, so I'm like, oh yeah, I can beat up this karate guy.
That karate guy.
It's been done.
I don't realize that karate guy happened to be a really good wrestler, and his style of karate is like a very sparring kickboxing type of karate. The Hawaiian Kempo with like John Hackleman. It's not normal karate.
It's like, I've seen it. It can be done. Like,
yeah.
And so, how long were you there for? Or did you actually train?
I wasn't there that long. Probably a little over a year. Maybe a year and a half. I was at San Luis Obispo training with him. Trying to think who else is there. Most of the guys kind of faded out. The guy Scott Adams ran the gym with him. He was the guy who started the WEC, who ended up selling to the UFC, and there was a few other guys there. But then I switched up to go to school at San Francisco State, and that's where I'd seen the guys at Cesar Gracie's were kind of dominating all the small shows. So I switched and started training there when I moved.
Is that when you met Nick?
Yeah, I met Nick. I think Nick had just started training when I started training there. So we both kind of started at the same time. We were both like the new guys that were tough. So we weren't like the best guys in the gym, but we were like the best brand new guys. So me and Nick would like go at it together. And that's why I was wrestling in college with Gil Melendez. So I'm like, Gil, you got to come in. So I brought Gil in, and then Nick's just like, well, I'm bringing my brother and have him fight with Gil. So we all kind of just started training there.
When you trained with Nick, what was that interaction like? Is he a nice guy to train with? Is he a mean guy to train with?
No, he's a great training partner. I mean, he'll train hard. Like, we spar hard, but we're not like trying to hurt each other. So it's a fine line with your training partners. You do got to push each other. You're not going light with each other, but you don't want injuries. So we're never trying to hurt each other. But we are trying to win when we go. We do go at it hard though.
Yeah, those sort of relationships with the team are hard to find, eh? Because once you've got like the recipe, you've got the team, if you would, like you can, like we try to people ask me like, do you spar hard? And I'm like, yeah, like
you got it.
When we wrestle and we roll and we spar, like we're trying to beat each other,
exactly,
but not hurt each other.
Yeah, because the line, like if you got someone a little bit hurt, and to back off, you're not just gonna like someone's little days, you're not gonna keep hitting them, but you also do got to push your opponent. So it's finding how hard to spar with people.
I think that relationship it's hard to find that. Like, because you guys all came up together.
We got lucky. We all kind of started training at the same place, same time.
And so you were there that was all at Cesar Gracie's?
Yeah. We all started. It was a great team back at the time. There was the guy David Terrell was an absolute savage.
I was going to ask you, what happened to him?
That guy's such a beast. I think he just so talented, but I think he just wasn't super into competing. Some guys don't like competing that much.
Is he the guy that knocked out Lindland?
Yeah.
With that head kick?
Yeah. Yeah, the guy's an absolute savage.
And since that day, I've been waiting for to see him more.
No,
fights.
yeah, when you train with that guy, he's like probably the best guy I've ever trained with. But he's for some reason he wasn't ever super into competing. It's one of those things. I think competing with him was always kind of a struggle. He preferred like training and coaching. He has a big gym up in Santa Rosa.
So he's still in the scene.
Yeah, he has some really tough students. It's not a real famous gym, but it's just to go up there and everyone's just tough. It's one of those like tough areas, and he's a tough, mean coach. You go in there, you're gonna train with like his blue belts. They're gonna be tough. Like you guys, you're a blue belt, and you're training with him. You're like, this guy's not a blue belt. How are you a blue belt still?
So that's where he is now. Because I was actually going to ask you.
Yeah, no, he's got a really good, successful school up there. He's putting a few guys in the UFC. I know he may have 3 or 4 guys in the UFC, but no one that's quite crossed over to that like high level UFC yet.
Okay.
Jacob was like that for us for a little bit. They're like Jacob and Izzy were like that for us for a little bit. They're like blue belt. They hadn't done their time. They hadn't served enough time to move into
the guy you trained with today. The time.
Oh yeah.
But we've been in the competitive scene for a long time.
Yeah, so they're not like
they're going blue belt comps.
Well, they're purple belts now, but they've been doing it for like ages.
And they're just like people were like they're not blue belts.
And so, some guys are just so tough too. Like maybe they technical those skills, but they're just so tough. They're in the gym all the time. They're grinders, and they can just give you tough work.
Yeah, Jacob now has just got his purple belt, but he won the ADCC trials, Asian ones.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, which is not like it's decent level.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah, winning the trials is big.
But he won't be able to go because he's got a fight.
Came up.
Yeah, he's got 2 fights.
That sucks having to pull out of that. But yeah, if you're focusing on the fight, that would come first.
Was just going to ask you. You took a bronze at ADCC, at the ADCC, and you rolled. I watched that.
Had some good matches there.
Because I used to have to watch it like on the
online
stream it kind of thing. But this is
I
back then.
I don't think they showed it anymore.
It wasn't even streaming. You had to watch it like I don't know if it was a fucking satellite.
Probably
I don't
some
know.
illegal stream
Yeah,
or something.
my mate did it.
Yeah.
So, but you competed against Marcelo Garcia, right?
No, not Garcia. He was at my weight, but I lost to Pablo Popovich.
That's
in the
right. Yeah,
semis.
but it's in that
Close match to him, yeah.
Yeah, but it was a really like from a MMA perspective, because I remember watching and thinking like, because you see a lot of the MMA guys go in there.
Yeah, not many of them plays.
Yeah, and they might be good grapplers in MMA, but it's a totally different thing when you're just doing with specialists.
Yeah.
But to take a bronze, that's really high level.
Yeah, no, I've been doing a bunch of grappling tournaments and been doing well, beating like world champs and stuff out there in the grappling, which is pretty cool. Switching from 15 years focusing solely on MMA and going back and beating world champs jiu-jitsu is pretty cool.
Because you're doing that now. At 40 years old, you're competing.
Winning, beating a bunch of these guys that got world titles and stuff, so that's pretty cool.
I want to ask you, the guy AJ Agazan?
Yeah.
That's how I say his name?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You weren't cool with him, but you train together now?
Don't only train with him. See, he's friends with Nick Diaz, who obviously I'm really good friends with, so he'll sometimes be at the same place I'm training, so I'll kind of let it slide. But he knows me mouths off, I'm going to pop him again.
Oh, so how did that happen? What happened?
He's just one of those like weird guys.
Because you seem like a normal person.
No, he's well, people that follow jiu-jitsu knows he's like famous for just being a douchebag. Like him and Dillon Danis, who happened to have both matches with both those guys, are like the two like most obnoxious guys in jiu-jitsu. Like I didn't even know who he was because I wasn't really following jiu-jitsu all the time. And I signed up a match and he was just talking shit the whole time. And he tried like pushing me and stuff. So I ended up
during the match or
I think before the match, during the match. So I ended up smacking him a couple times and I saw him again after that and he was mouthing off to me again. So I smacked him again and
after the match.
Yeah. And then after that he kind of started hanging out with Nick, so I just let it be. but he knows I saw him in Stockton not too long ago, and I'm like, oh, you can't, because he was lucky. He would mouth off, and then when I'd go after him, people would like pull me off him. But he saw him in Stockton. I'm like, all right, he ain't gonna talk crap here.
Wait. But when you say you hit you, because I saw you had the match and you kind of slapped each other, or you slapped him, and then after the match you kind of slapped him, but then afterwards you
got into another time with him too, yeah.
Like just in the
another jiu-jitsu competition, I ran into him and he started mouthing off, so I went after him. But then I got pulled off him, so.
And then what did you say? You saw him in Stockton?
Yeah, but then there he knew better than to talk shit.
Oh, so he didn't say anything?
Yeah, no one's gonna break it up in Stockton.
it was just you two.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, we're cool.
Yeah, he was cool there. Yeah, he was cool there. He's like, huh. They'll throw us in the cage there. Yeah, he's fighting. Like I said, I don't hate the guy. He's like, whatever. I'm over it. He's one of those guys that likes to talk a lot of shit, but
he's a good grappler too, eh? Like the level of grappler that you beat.
He took second ADCC, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and you beat him in that match, eh?
Yeah, at that Palhares.
All right, and is it? Do people want to beat you because you have a big name in MMA in the jiu-jitsu scene?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Is that an added?
Yeah, I mean, guys want to beat the MMA guys, but I think most of the guys know that I'm not. A lot of the MMA guys, they really go after it because figures easy wins, but with me, they know it's not because I've been beating a lot of these guys. Recently beat like Murillo Santana, who's one of the top guys in the world.
That's insane. Yeah.
Or Gilbert Burns, another MMA guy who's actually really, really good. But I beat him recently as well too. Dillon Danis. So.
Yeah, friend of ours that trained with us a few times, and I believe you guys were trained together. You guys competed as well. Craig Jones was saying that when you get side control, it's you're very, very heavy in that, and you're very, very strong with your side control, physically strong. Has that always been a thing for you? Yeah,
I think I'm thinking I'm physically strong, but a lot of it's knowing to keep position, like keeping the face pinned away, stuff we're working on today, just keeping that shoulder pressure so the guys can't turn into me. So that helps. And yeah, Craig Jones that's a phenomenal guy. He's been out training with us. He's, as far as Australia, I think probably the best guy that's ever came out of Australia for grappling and one of the best in the world. I think he's got a good shot of winning ADCC this year.
You reckon he will?
I mean, you're looking at a tournament that tough, you can't. There's no sure winners. But if I looked at that weight, he'd be my favorite to win it for sure.
Wow. What is it about Craig that you think would be your favorite?
He's just like really putting it together right now because he's been out training in New York. Like he was always phenomenal, but the last few months he's been out training at John Donner's in New York, and I feel like he's sometimes maybe he's lacked a little conditioning and stuff, and now he's in great shape. He's just training hard, training twice a day full time, and he just seems to be putting it all together.
Was he strong, Mr. Jake Shields?
Yeah, it's like we were just drilling light and stuff, but like, when you're putting on the techniques and grabbing me in positions, it was like a vice. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, he put the head and arm on me, the arm triangle, and said, "Okay, now try to move." I was like, "Oh, I'm not going anywhere." Like, no, he's just very like the squeeze was just. Like it was just like a vice. That's exactly how I describe it. It was like a vice trying to roll with you.
Yeah, I think I'm like rougher than I realized because I know like Gil Melendez and Nate, they'd always bitch about training with me. But I thought I'm like, oh, you guys are just being pussies. Yeah. And then I started training at Cesar Gracie, and those guys are like, fuck, I got to train with you. I'm like, am I really that bad? I can't be that bad, am I? Yeah, I don't hurt anyone at least, so I think I'm just a little rough. But I'm not injured them. Just the shoulders and.
Yeah, you just work them down, just break them down.
I think that's what put a lot of pressure on the head apparently.
So how did it start then? So you went then you went to Cesar's.
Yeah.
And then you were training there, and then what happened?
We trained there for a lot of years. Trained at Cesar's, and then we never really left Cesar's. It's just kind of Gil started opening a gym in San Francisco, which is where me and Gil lived, and then Nate and Nick kind of had a gym out in Stockton. So it made more sense for us that they would train in Stockton, we'd train there, or they would drive down train with us, or we'd drive out and train with them. So none of us left Cesar. Just we started training our own places.
But what I'm saying is because you were rewinding back a little bit, you were still young.
Yeah.
And then you just started fighting.
Oh, yeah. So I fought a couple fights with Chuck Liddell before I moved to San Francisco. So I had a couple fights there. And like I said, I saw Cesar's team was doing really well with David Terrell, Gil Castillo, he fought for UFC title. So I saw those guys. So, I went there. I'm like, oh, I'm going to come train at Cesar's. So, yeah, met Nick, Nate, David Terrell, all those guys, and started training and fought in there for a bunch of years.
You fought in Shudo and you won the Shudo title.
Yeah.
But then was it Kikuchi that you lost to?
Yeah. I think I beat him there. I think I beat him there and lost him there.
You beat him and then you lost the belt. But from there you went like 15 fights in a row, eh? Mm-hmm. And in that you had some like very, very colourful fights.
Yeah, some pretty good fights in that streak.
It was during that streak that you fought Henderson?
Yeah, I think Henderson, Condit, Kami, I don't know, a bunch of other guys.
But when you fought Henderson, can you talk us through that fight? Because that was massive shots you took, man, in that first...
Yeah, that was... we were talking about that earlier. That was one of those fights... I had a lot of pressure in that fight because it was the last fight, my Strikeforce contract, but I wanted to switch to UFC, so you want to make sure... you win on those fights when you don't re-sign and went out there and. So
it gave you an easy fight like Henderson.
Yes, he gave me an easy fight. They're probably like, all right, how can we make him lose so he doesn't leave a champ? Yes, they brought in Henderson to go at me, and obviously that was. I just watched the fight Bisping. That's when he knocked him out with that flying punch. So I'm like, all right, don't walk into his right hand. So I walked right towards him. I walked right into his right hand. Probably within like 15 seconds, just floored. And then got floored again, but luckily I was able to keep it together and to get through that first round and come back and dominated the rest of the fight.
Does he throw it at a particularly awkward angle? Or?
I think he just kind of launches the overhand. I don't know. I don't really remember getting hit. Kind of like walked right into it.
So you can't remember that, because you were saying to me earlier that you thought you slipped.
Yeah, because I remember being there on the ground, and I was like, oh, how did I get here? And then I just fought through it, and I went in the between rounds. I was in the corner, and I was like, I slipped, right? And the corner man was just like, yeah. I don't know why they didn't correct me. I would ask them later, like, why didn't you tell me? They're like, oh, I don't want to break your confidence. So I was like, all right.
Who was your cornerman?
I think it was Gil Melendez, Tariq Azim. Both of these guys, they're both good cornermen, but I guess it's maybe it's the right thing to lie to me. It made me feel more confident. Like, oh, he can't knock me down.
I think it was a good call.
Exactly. It gave me confidence.
What if you were sitting in the corner like, dude, you just got floored twice. You should have seen how you dropped. Yeah, the best part was I think for like 3 days after I didn't watch the fight and I was just telling everyone like, oh, he didn't knock me down. He hit you hard. And I was like, no. People like, man, that hot. And I'm like, no, I just slipped, telling everyone. And then I went to watch the fight a few days later and I'm just like, what the fuck? Why did they not tell me?
It's like the emperor's new clothes, eh? Everyone's like, no one's telling you that.
Yeah, the funny thing is I remember making fun of fighters before when you see them like, when they're like, I didn't get knocked down, I slipped, and you watch that and it's like, oh, you don't realize you got dropped.
You slipped on his hand.
Yeah. Do you think you went out?
I think it was like a split second because I kind of like, when I watched it, I like fully just like collapsed. But luckily it was good reffing because I like woke up instantly and was able to come back and start fighting again. I think it was Big John reffed it because it's one of those ones a bad ref could have jumped in and stopped it, but.
Do you think the stoppage yesterday was
the Cerrone? No, that was done.
I think he was done. I understand wanting to keep fighting, so I understand how he feels because he's one of those warriors that never wants to stop. But to me, it looked like it was the correct one.
Well, because he wasn't defending at all, zero.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like what you're just saying, then he will swear on a stack of Bibles that he was. good.
Exactly. He probably believes he was, exactly, because he didn't see the fight. He probably wakes up and all of a sudden he's like, wait, I'm fine. Why are you stopping the fight?
And then also, but you could see also that after he does get up, he's still wobbling. He was still wobbling.
Exactly.
Like he was still like dizzy and walking all over the place.
It's just tough, when you're a warrior, you want to keep fighting. And that's
I'm surprised Gaethje stopped hitting him. Like,
No, Gaethje hit him.
no, I know, but then he stopped and looked at the ref.
And he hit him anyways.
And then the ref wasn't doing anything, so he hit him again.
Yeah, Gaethje
And
had
then-
to re-hit him. He didn't want it, but he didn't have a choice.
And then stopped again. He stopped again and looked at the ref. And the ref still didn't stop it, so he started hitting him again. And then the ref come in. And I was like, I would not have stopped
No,
ever.
Gaethje was being way too nice. I mean, good on him, but it's just like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't stop. I'd keep hitting
no
him.
way. I'd still be hitting him now.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Sometimes you see fans bitching like, "Oh, you hit him an extra shot." It's like, dude, you're in there fighting. You're not thinking. You're trying to win the fight.
yeah, if they don't stop you there and then.
I don't want him to get back up.
Oh yeah, your adrenaline's going. You're just thinking, put this guy away. You're not worried about hitting him an extra time.
Yeah, because like people don't realize that you don't want the fight to go on.
No.
Like, fighting's
You want
hard,
it,
dude.
yeah.
I want to stop this right
Exactly.
now.
You want to get out there and get paid. Get out.
Yeah, I want to win and be done with it now. I don't want to drag this on
Yeah.
and just have a great fight. Nah,
Yeah.
dude.
You're not trying to get fight of the night. You're trying to get like a knockout. Or a
Yeah,
submission.
I hope it's a shit fight.
Yeah, you never want that fight of the night bonus.
Yeah, where two guys slug it out for 25 minutes. No, I want a
Yeah.
30-second win and then I'm home.
Like,
Good.
yeah, like both those Romero fights. You're like, yeah, those aren't the kind of fights you want all the time.
That's 50 minutes.
The fans love them, but
Yeah, that's 50 minutes of fighting. That's
yeah,
too much.
that's a lot. Yeah,
You were homeschooled, eh, Jake?
to like 6th grade.
Did you like being homeschooled?
It was okay. Luckily I was super social still because we were wrestling and parents had me involved in other stuff. Because if not, you can get too isolated because we kind of lived like out a little ways from town. So it was good in that end. I lived like a bunch of acreage and land, so I was able to do a lot physically.
What kind of stuff did you do growing up?
I was always into wrestling, and then I was in the area with lots of like mountain bike riding, snowboard mountains by there. So I was able to do lots of outdoor activities.
Who homeschooled you? Like who?
My mom.
And was she a teacher or something, or she just
Not really.
she just?
Decided didn't want to send to school, I guess.
All right, cool. Was the school very far away for you?
Yeah, a little bit. It wasn't too bad. That's what I got after got 6th grade. I decided to start going to regular school.
What was it? Was it weird being homeschooled by your mum?
I mean that's what I was doing, so it didn't seem weird at the time. If you think
Yeah.
about it, if I'd gone to school first, then it'd probably be weird. But that's just what I was doing, so
Well-
it didn't seem weird.
What was the transition like when you went from homeschool to?
To me, it wasn't bad. I think some people can be a little difficult if you get like you're not socialized enough. Maybe you see some guys go in, and they have a hard time like adjusting. But I think because I'd started wrestling and
you were in
and I was
teams
pretty
a lot.
good with that, so so you have confidence from that, so you don't feel weird. And then you already knew people because I was the guys in the school, so it didn't feel weird at all.
Yes, so you were wrestling a lot, and you're hanging out with all these
Yeah,
friends.
so to me it was like
and-
an easy transition.
Yeah.
But I think that's the downside to it. Some people can be a tough transition if they're not like, hanging out with a bunch of other kids, and also they can feel weird.
Yeah,
switching
you
to
don't
school.
develop those social skills, eh?
Exactly.
You know who else was homeschooled? You know, Priscus?
Yeah,
He was homeschooled.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's a very social guy too. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. Just depends on the person a lot too.
yeah, yeah. And I guess like the amount of social activity you're having outside of the study.
Yeah, that's
times.
what I think. So like,
Huge.
luckily parents are smart enough to know to put in a bunch of other social activities, so you don't get like isolated.
Yeah, if you homeschool your kid and then don't do any social activities,
Yeah, then
and
they're-
you're just home all the time.
Yeah, that's probably not healthy for them.
I was coaching at a school once, and there was a kid that had been homeschooled, but he didn't. He had no social
Yeah.
interactions. Literally
Totally
had none.
isolated them. Yeah.
Dude, and when I met this kid, I was fucking scared of him. He was like one of those kids that will kill everyone in the
you
school.
gotta get this kid I
was like
socialized
super
or
nice to
something.
him.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, the ones that are a little weird, I'm always really nice to them. So I'm like, okay, if they come and shoot the place up, they won't shoot me.
Yeah, I'll
hopefully.
be like, you remember me, man?
Yeah,
No, we're good. We're good.
This guy was so weird, man. And so your dad, who's since passed,
Yeah.
he was your manager as well.
Yeah, he ended up taking over managing me. So as you guys probably know, there's not a ton of good managers in the sport. So luckily, when he realized that, he got involved and did a phenomenal job of managing me. So.
Because I remember you took a fight not long after he'd passed.
Yeah, that was one of those things. Probably should have pulled out, but
Who
it's
did
such
you
a
fight?
mess. Ellenberger, which was a terrible fight for me. It's one of those things. Looking back, I wish I'd have pulled over because my head wasn't on straight at all. But you're just kind of. It's hard to pull out fights when you're fighters. Is all you know. You're just like.
Yeah,
you don't know how to pull out fights. Sometimes like, oh, maybe it'll keep my mind distracted. But instead, I think I was just complete. Not there.
And you never want to just pull out of fights.
It's just hard to pull out a fight. So you're in one of the situations you don't really know what to do. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'll just go fight. Maybe it'll help. And then instead I went out there and fought like shit, which, you know, makes it even worse. But
your dad would have been relatively young, at the time.
yeah, like 67.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's young. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's some real sorry to hear that. Because that to me, like, my dad's 81 now, right?
Yeah.
And like, you know, if I'm not ready for him to go. Do you know what I
No,
mean? Like,
yeah.
and people think like, oh yeah, well you're this age or whatever. And like,
No,
you're never ready, man.
It was tough too because he's like my manager, so I talked to him like almost every day. So it's one of those like, oh shit, this is tough. You help put my camps together and all that. So all of a sudden you're like, fuck, what do I do?
Because your old man's involved a lot with you as well. Like different. He's not like a manager or not, but he's always there
Yeah, no.
telling cracker jokes. His dad.
Yeah.
Terrible
He's
jokes.
got some fucking
Telling
jokes.
the bad jokes.
Yeah.
That's what my dad would do.
I can't think about it. And right now, I don't even want to talk about it because the idea destroys me. Because no one's ready.
No,
No.
exactly. Like I said, because I was so close to my dad, I talked to him much every day. He was at all the fights. You're just kind of like, oh shit, what do you do?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, fuck. It's all you know. You're like, fuck, I guess I'm going there and fight still.
Yeah. Well, because honestly, you're a fighter.
Yeah.
It's what you
It's
do.
what we
You're
do,
not gonna
exactly.
You're not gonna say, oh, I can't fight. I'm not feeling very
Yeah.
good.
And then my dad's manager, so he probably would have pulled me out of the fight, but he died.
Yeah.
So you're like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And you do need the people there to help
To help you with that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so much
to-
easier when you have someone like helping you that, you know.
and to protect you from yourself too as well.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
so you and him were very close.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he did all your pro fights more or less up until that point.
He did like after my first few, he started managing me. Yeah, I did all of them.
Fuck, that's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, and it was great, you know, having someone he was naturally good at that stuff. Could have been like a lawyer or something. So he was great with all the contracts and negotiating deals and whatnot.
What did he do?
He was actually in construction, which was completely opposite. But he's a guy that should have been a lawyer, but just kind of ended up got into construction and carpentry and stuff.
But did he do, because the guy from Kaplan that used to help manage Rob as well before we got Titus, he's like owns a building company, a Kaplan building company. But did your dad deal with a lot of the contracts in building and whatnot?
Not really, I don't think. But for some reason he was just really naturally good with all the paperwork, that type of stuff.
Are you good with paperwork?
Oh, terrible! I don't want to do anything to do with paperwork.
Fucking hell. All right, I want to ask you about a couple of fights, like the Carlos Condit fight.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that fight?
Yeah, that was Rumble in the Rock tournament. That was actually 2 fights in one night. So I fought Kami first, which that was a tough fight. That guy's tough. He's a strong dude. So I had that, and then fought Condit right after, which, you know, obviously another tough fight. So that was
But straight off the back of it.
yeah, back-to-back fights. So it was,
Wow.
and both of us went the distance. So 30 minutes fighting in a night, even worse than 25.
Oh my god.
I was so sore and tired after.
Yeah, but it's different because you have to fight another person.
Yeah, it's almost worse, I think. And Condit had like a 1-minute fight.
I was gonna say-
he went armbar the guy in like a second. I'm just like, oh man.
Oh no.
He comes in all fresh. I'm all wore out from a battle with a Kami.
Yeah.
So
And because both those guys are good.
yeah, I think stylistically, Condit gave me. I think Kami gave me a tougher fight because it was so hard to take down and lanky and strong and like throwing knees. So it was a lot of like clinch work and fighting against the cage. So it was one of those like tough grinding fights. And Condit stylistically, they would take him down pretty easy and pound on him. And I didn't really watch that fight, but I think I was pretty dominant. I haven't watched that fight in so many years, but
Kami, he fought for the middleweight belt in the UFC against Anderson. Did he not? He lost to
think he might
Anderson
have.
once before, but then he fought Anderson again, didn't he?
Yo, Anderson, I'm trying to think, 'cause I know he fought Anderson. Anderson got DQ'd for an illegal kick.
For the up kick.
'Cause I was
wasn't
supposed to fight Anderson, and then I wasn't to fight Anderson, but then he fought Kami instead. But I think they fought again in the UFC. I think you're right.
I'm not sure, but I could be wrong. But you fought Condit, who held the interim belt, and you beat him.
Yeah.
And then the Robbie Lawler, he fought.
Yeah, I got him, Strikeforce as well. Got him with a guillotine choke.
What was that fight like?
Luckily, it went really good for me. It was one of those fights that went pretty fast. You know, went in there, we were standing up for a minute or two, and then we got in a clinch and did like a jumpy guillotine. So it was over within maybe 2-3 minutes. So that's what you want, those fights where you're in and out.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think he really landed anything on me, so.
And he hits like fucking like a truck, eh?
Yeah, luckily nothing really landed, but he was throwing some bombs at me.
Did he catch you with anything?
No, nothing landed clean. So another guy I fought that threw us some bombs that luckily didn't land was Paul Daley. That guy he didn't land them on me, but he was throwing some bombs at me. I'm like, oh man, this guy's launching them.
He can hit. He can fight, but
Yeah, luckily they weren't landing, but they were coming right next to me. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to get hit by this guy.
that's one of my favorite fights. Was Nick Diaz versus Paul Daley. It
Oh,
only
man.
went one round.
That's probably the best one-rounder of all time.
Yeah,
For a one-round
that's
fight, those guys just go at it.
Dude,
That was the back and forth one, yeah.
Yeah,
Bad.
Nick knocking him out, but
Like-
Nick got dropped first. And then
Yeah,
coming back.
I've actually seen that fight. And
I think I told you. Go watch
I think
it's the best one round
linked
fight you'll see.
It's about the best
And-
4 minutes of action you can
Yeah.
watch.
yeah, because I saw you see Nick get dropped
Mm-hmm.
and then drop Daley, and it was crazy.
Yeah, Nick's just so tough. He just out toughs people. The mental toughness and cardio. So he just broke Daley with the pressure he kept on him.
Yeah,
Once Daley dropped him and he got back up, started coming after him, and I think Daley's just like, oh man, this guy won't quit.
yeah.
You fought. So those three guys that we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
that you fought, Nick fought him too.
Did he fight? I don't think he fought Condit though, did he? I mean,
Yeah, he
he
did,
fought Condit.
remember?
He didn't fight Okami. I mean,
Oh no, but Condit,
yeah, Condit. Yeah. That's right, yeah.
Robbie Lawler, and there was and Daley. They're the three guys that I'm.
Oh
so-
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did fight all those.
So he fought
Yeah,
those three guys.
knocked out Lawler. That was a great fight.
Were you there?
That was another
Yeah,
great
he was a huge underdog on that fight. I remember at the time.
Were you in the corner?
I don't think I was in the corner, but I was there. I went and bet money on him because he's such a big underdog.
What did you think when Dude, I was watching him. Like, what was going through your mind? Because I remember watching it from home, and I was thinking, why is this kid so fucking angry? He was so fucking angry.
Yeah, Nick was angry when he was young. Exactly. I think we thought he was going to try to take him down, but I think Nick was pissed off because everyone thought that he was going to knock him out, so he went out there to prove a point. His stubborn attitude was like, oh, I think they knocked me out. I'm going to knock him out. And it worked. Risky game plan, but that's, Nick, crazy.
And were you there for Anderson? Were you in his corner against?
Fortunately, I wasn't at that one. I think I was out of the country. I already had a trip booked, and then he got the fight, so I missed that fight. But that was another close fight.
Yeah, that was a good fight. And that's when you start to see, I don't know, to me, I've always been a fan, but you start to see, like, fuck, that's how good Nick Diaz is, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When Anderson was still coming up.
Yeah,
like, not coming up, but Anderson was still
at his peak, yeah.
Yeah.
Still Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And fuck, mate, they went at it too in that fight.
Yeah, Nick's tough.
Woodley?
Man, that's another tough guy. That's he hits hard. He's just a tough, really, really tough to take down. He's an elite wrestler too. So that was another tough fight. But yeah, luckily I got the win on that one.
How did you get past that? Because like that was one of the fights that people were like, oh, well, Woodley. You wouldn't be able to take Woodley down, so to speak.
Yeah, I just kept forwards pressure on him. I was trying to take him down, but he was, staying really low and backing up the whole time. So I think I just beat him by out-hustling him, outworking him, throwing more strikes, being more aggressive, going for takedowns, just being the aggressor. So I outworked him.
When you see Nick Diaz and Nate Diaz, they fight with that come forward pressure, boxing style, etc. What's that like to deal with when you're training with them?
It's tough, man. They don't get tired and they keep coming and keep throwing punches. Because everyone's like, oh, they don't hit that hard. And it's like, yeah, but the amount of punches they're throwing and they snap. They hurt more than they look when they turn them over. Those are tough boxers.
Man, it looks like it hurts to
Yeah,
me.
because sometimes you see fans like, oh, they're not hitting that hard. And it's like, yeah, get hit by them.
Yeah, and then you put on the small gloves.
Exactly, because they don't realize they're turning those snaps and those punches.
You don't
and,
you don't need to hit hard for the small gloves.
Mm-hmm,
Like,
exactly.
the volume kills.
Exactly. They throw combos together.
Yeah.
And do you box with them?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like boxing those guys. They're tough.
So do you have the same boxing trainer that they do?
No, because their box trainers out like it's in Stockton, and we were out in San Francisco, so it was kind of a far drive. So I mean, I've worked with the guy a little bit, but not like all the time like they do.
Did they start boxing from as little kids?
No, I think they started jiu-jitsu first and got into boxing. They were fighting, and then they found that guy and talked him into training him.
Talked him into it?
Well, I think he was training pro boxers, so he didn't really have much interest in training MMA guys. But I think they just kind of kept bothering him, and he slowly started training him. And then like, oh, these guys are pretty good.
Who's your main striking coaches in that?
Mostly the guy Tariq Azim in San Francisco. Worked with him for a while. Worked with a few other guys here and there. But that was the primary guy.
Okay. Do you like striking?
Oh, I do. I mean, I honestly like jiu-jitsu more, but I do like striking.
Because one of the things I've heard from a lot of people is that you hit a lot harder than people think you do.
Yeah, the guys always spar me. They're like, oh, damn, you're a lot better than I think. My style looks a little awkward, but I'm hard to hit and pretty good at landing shots. So.
How do you deal with someone that watches the podcast asked me to ask this. When you have there's tension between say Nick and Nate Diaz and someone else, and then you train with them still and et cetera, how do you monitor that?
Well, I mean, ultimately, I always have Nick and Nate's back. So if stuff ever breaks down, if he's fighting those guys, I won't train with that person. Or if a fight breaks loose, but for the most part, it's like I said, I'm friends with GSP. I know Nick don't love him, but obviously I got Nick's back first. Like I said, Nick's friends with AJ, who I'm not friends with, but I know Nick ain't gonna back him up if anything goes down. So like I'm loyal to those guys. They're like brothers to me. We trained so long.
Why doesn't Nick like GSP?
Because Nick don't like anyone he might fight.
Just in case.
Yeah, he can't. I think it's his way. He doesn't want to like anyone that he might fight. He likes to like not like you.
I can relate
So
to
I don't
that.
think he likes any 70-pounders.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I hate everybody in the middleweight
Exactly.
division.
You're like, yeah, it's good to make yourself hate these people.
Yeah, it's like I don't hate them in the sense that like I go home and just wish ill things on them, but like I don't want to see them.
No, you don't want to be friends with the guys you might fight. That's like the worst.
Yeah.
Have you had to fight friends?
Never close friends, because I try not to be friends with guys around my weight either that I might fight. You just don't want to be friends with these guys. How are you going to fight someone that's your friend?
Yeah. But you've never had that.
I'll be cool with guys after I fight them, but not before. Nah, I try to like not get close to anyone that I might fight.
Did you ever have to fight anyone that was your friend?
Yeah, in the Ultimate Fighter House, I had to fight Xavier.
Oh, that must suck.
Yeah, so like I was in like the tough house sort of thing, and helicopters.
That is an actual helicopter.
Yeah. It's not Fab's washing.
Sometimes I put washing on, and it sounds like a helicopter.
Yeah, messes it up.
Yeah, but yeah. So we had like a tough house, but the way that the tough house was Australia versus England.
Okay.
And so like you were in a team.
Yeah, so you kind of have to become friends with them.
Yeah, so like we became friends. Like we were team bonding.
Yeah.
Because that's the way they made it. And then I think I ended up the way all the draws worked out. I had to end up fighting right at the end of the show. I had to fight my friend. And
you've been training with him the whole time?
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It was one
I guess you got no choice.
It was one of the few guys in the house that I genuinely liked.
That's hard. Go down there and trying to hurt someone you like.
Such a good spirit.
Like, people don't realize the sport, you have to go out there and want to hurt the guy. If you're out there fighting, you better be trying to hurt the guy or you might get hurt. So it's tough. It's like switching your head to where you're trying to hurt someone.
You have to. But yeah, it was
and it isn't like I've had conversations with people and they're like, nah, you can just take it as a sport. And you're like, dude, you can die in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's not,
you literally can die, or you might have to kill someone. It's like you never want to, but if you're doing this sport, you better be willing to die or kill someone because it could happen.
Yeah, they're gonna if you gave them a chance to take the shot, they'd take it.
Yeah,
so you have to be willing to take that shot.
You better take that guy out than him take you out. Exactly, you have to have that attitude in there.
You used to train with Fitch as well. Fitch
a little bit.
Koscheck?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
But you never fought them, eh?
No, you fought Fitch.
Yeah, I fought Fitch. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's.
We were never like close though. Really, trained them a little bit, but we were never like close.
I thought you were closer friends.
I was cool with him, but never like close. I trained with him a few times.
Okay.
Yeah, trained with like Khabib down there a few times. He's tough.
What's Khabib like as a grappler? Like, of course, everyone's going to say Fab, he's a fucking good grappler, and I understand that they already know. But I'm asking.
Yeah, his style is a little different because it's really good wrestling, I guess, with the sambo mix. So he's not like crazy submissions he's throwing at you, but he's really hard to take down, really hard to submit, really hard to do much to. He's really strong. I mean, he's obviously phenomenal. Just good ground control.
How big is he when he's just walking around?
He's like my size. I think he might have got a little. I think after he missed weight, he got a little bit smaller. But we'd spar and we'd be like the same size. I'm like, dude, this guy's a 55-pounder. How's he make weight?
So he's your size?
Close, maybe a couple pounds less, but I think he's probably like 190 or something. At least 185.
Fuck, that's a big guy for...
I think he might have slimmed down a little bit because I was sparring with him a few years ago. I know he missed weight one time. I think it looked like his body got a little smaller after that. I think he might have maybe lifted a little less or just dieted down more or something.
That's still massive.
He's still really big, though.
He's a big guy.
But yeah, I think it would happen. I think his organs started shutting down or something from cutting too much water.
Oh, last one.
And you were telling me you were this size, which is like 88 kilos, which is like 190 or something?
Yeah, a little over 190. Probably 193 or something right now.
That's how big you were when you were fighting at middleweight.
Yeah, I would never really, maybe like 1 or 2 kilos more, but yeah, I never could get above like 200 pounds.
Was that very hard for you to fight guys at middleweight?
I always felt good fighting there. I mean, ultimately, I'm a lot smaller than a lot of those guys, but I never felt that weak or anything against them. They're a little slower, so I felt a little faster. That's nice. Do
you prefer fighting at 170?
Either way. I mean, I've done well at middleweight, but sometimes the guys do feel strong and they hit hard.
Is the cut very hard for you for 77?
It's never easy, but I mean, I never missed weight, so all those years fighting, I never missed a weight at least.
Because I was watching you today when you came in, and me and Alex were talking because like it would have like there's a big size difference between you and Rob. Like when I was watching you, and I was thinking like you didn't just fight there; you held titles. Yeah. Being a smaller guy with a grapple heavy game, like you would have had to control big, strong guys at that weight.
Yeah, I think stylistically I do pretty well with bigger guys because, you know, they're not quite as fast and stuff. But ultimately that's why I mostly fought 170 because I realized the elite guys at that size, it does make a difference. And that's why they're just so big now. Especially nowadays, guys are cutting so much weight.
What are some of the craziest stories you have from you just fighting and things that have happened to you in your fight career?
Off the head, I can't think of anything. Been in some crazy brawls. Some.
What happened with the? Were you there when Nick fought KJ Nunes?
No, that was in Hawaii. I missed that one, unfortunately. The big old brawl broke out there.
Nick's
managed to get in a few brawls.
And that was he got cut. KJ Nunes cut him.
Did he? I can't remember what happened in that brawl. I remember there was a brawl there. I can't remember exactly what happened.
It was. He'd cut KJ Nunes cut Nick and they stopped it. It was Elite XC.
Oh yeah, it was Elite XC. And I remember there was a Elite XC in Hawaii. I remember there was a brawl, but it wasn't at that one. I can't remember exactly what happened.
Yeah, and then there was you had the situation with Mayhem Miller.
Had a big brawl there
because you beat him.
Yeah, because I beat him before and he was bitter about that.
And then he called you out or something when you'd won the belt, eh?
Yeah, so I think he was bitter.
But what happened? Did he push you? Did he say something?
He jumped in, tried taking the mic out of my hand. So I think that's
from where? Where did he jump in from?
He hopped over the cage, and that's when I went to hit him. And then I think Nick was right there, and Nate, and he was training with Henderson at the time, so we figured it'd be a brawl. So we kind of all went after him. And Henderson's guys obviously weren't that close to him, so we're like, we're staying out of it. So we were expecting a big brawl, and all of a sudden it's just Mayhem getting mopped up.
So he was there with Henderson's people.
Yeah, because he was training at that camp at the time, but they obviously wasn't that close to him because they kind of just backed out, and we started mobbing him.
That's so good.
So yeah, we thought a big giant brawl was gonna break out, but
his boys are like,
we're not that close to Mayhem.
I don't know.
So it was like a preemptive strike kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
Like you guys weren't. So in fairness, like, because I guess it gives a different perspective. You didn't necessarily go in there to or jump him.
Oh no, not at all. I had no intention of jumping him. I was like giving an interview, and he's grabbed. Like after a fight, as you know, your adrenaline's pumped up. You're not like in a regular. You're getting yourself ready to kill someone or die, and you're in there giving an interview, and he goes up and tries grabbing the mic out of my hand. So I didn't think. I just started hitting him, and then I think Nick, Nate, seeing the same thing, just went after him.
It wasn't
like we were planning on doing it. You just react sometimes.
Yeah, and like you guys are all fighters, and the atmosphere is in the octagon. Everything is like.
Yeah, you're pumped up.
Yeah. It is a short fuse away from everything exploding.
Yeah, you don't realize you get yourself in it. That's what's funny. Earlier I was saying, like, you see the MMA journalists, like, after the Khabib fights, like, oh, that was disgraceful, this and that. It just shows how disconnected they are from fighting. Like, how are they journalists of a sport when most of these guys have never been in a fight, never punched anyone, never been punched in the face, and they're like surprised when someone gets pumped up when their adrenaline's worked. Like, that's what happens. We're in there fighting, so it's so easy just to like lose it. Sometimes guys with a stare off, they hit each other. It's just because you're getting yourself in a fighting state of mind. You can't just turn it on and turn it off instantly.
And also, I think like the UFC, not that it's right or I'm not saying, but I'm just saying it is what it is. Mm-hmm. The UFC like wants that. Like they want like you to say all sorts of outlandish shit. Like that if you said it in any other sport, you'd get sanctioned. Like you wouldn't. If I played football and I said something about the opposition halfback or quarterback in the US about his mum and his religion and his ethnicity and whatnot, you'd probably be banned from playing.
Yeah, like, but UFC encourages it.
Yeah, they're like, say it, and you think like, it doesn't, like that dude.
Yeah, they're surprised when someone wants to punch you afterwards. Like, like they're disrespect someone for a month and like they expect us to be okay with it.
Yeah, they're not gonna be. You know what I mean?
It's not like you can say those things and like, oh, we're cool after. It's like, no, not necessarily.
I'm gonna hit you with a brick if I see you down the street.
And I think that's hard for I think fans to understand. Like you can talk like that and you can act like that, but when it's done.
Yeah, you're not necessarily just going to be cool instantly.
Yeah, you change a channel and you're watching something else on TV, but Jake Shields a person and Tom, whoever, they're going to walk out of there and see each other in the lobby, and it might not be finished.
Yeah, exactly. I know, like, recently, the Masvidal, I think people were giving him crap for hitting Ben Askren after he was dropped. And it's like, I mean, I'm cool with Ben Askren, but the guy, like, talked crap about him for, like, a month straight, and then they're surprised that he wanted to hit him an extra punch. It's like, get over it.
I think even Ben Askren accepted it.
Yeah, I mean,
Even he said it.
Yeah, like, Masvidal, like, well, the ref didn't stop me. Why wouldn't I hit him?
Let alone exactly that. It's like, we were speaking about it earlier. We want the fight to finish.
Yeah, it's like you're not trying to,
I'm going to try and hit you as much as I can until someone literally drags me away.
Did you say you trained with Khabib?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't the Diaz brothers and yourself have a brawl? Or were you there?
Were
you there?
There was a brawl when I was fighting. So I was fighting Palhares, and they broke out with a brawl.
But that's the second brawl that they had.
That was, I think, the only brawl between Khabib and Nate.
But when you fought Palhares, which we'll get to in a sec, that was reasonably recent.
Yeah.
But back in time, when Nick or Nate threw a drink, and there was a big brawl with Khabib's
Khabib?
With Khabib's people.
I know there was a brawl at that fight. I don't know if there was a second one. Because I know Khabib was, I think, trying to take a selfie with Nate in the background, and Nate saw it, so he walked over and, like, slapped Khabib. And then a big brawl broke out.
That's the second time, but
when was the first one then?
The first one was at another, like a more local kind of event, and it was a massive fight. It started in the
because there was a massive one in Vegas. I'm trying to think I was if I was there when they fought the other time. Yeah, I haven't trained with Khabib since they got in a fight. I was like, all right, I got to stay out of this.
So
I mean, I'm still cool with Khabib, but I'm not gonna, like, train with him or anything.
So they actually had a punch-up, Khabib and Nate.
I think Nate slapped him. I was in the cage at the time, so I couldn't exactly be involved.
You were a little occupied.
I'm pretty sure he slapped him, and a big brawl, there's a big brawl, like, out in the casino and stuff. Because the Dagestani guys are tough, the Stockton guys are tough, so, like, everyone was down to fight.
And they all had a punch-up?
Yeah. No. It was like a casino in Vegas. There was, like, a brawl between them.
Fucking hell. When you fought Palhares, because that's what I was going to ask you, and then we kind of went on to this. Eye gouges. He actually eye gouged you.
People, I think, like, people are always like, oh, he was putting his finger in his eye. That's not what he was doing. I had him mounted, like, beating the crap out of him. He was taking his thumbs, like, putting them in my eyes, trying to gouge my eyes out. Like, I should have just, like, not answered the bell the third round and contested the fight because the ref wasn't interfering. I kept telling the ref he's trying to gouge my eyes out, and the ref kept being like, oh, no, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. And my whole eyes were just like, I put a photo up after my eyes were almost like gouged out. It was like scary because it wasn't like his fingers in his eyes. He was literally trying to just gouge my eyes out over and over because he knew the fight was about lost. I had mount. I was like dominating him, and then he just started gouging my eyes. And when you feel like you're going to lose your eyes, it gets pretty scary. So I went in there not being able to see in the third round. Again, it's me being stupid and stubborn, thinking, oh, I'll just fight not being able to see.
That's the thing. Like you watched yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, but did you hear about it? Todd Duffy, how he got eye gouged. No. I don't think the guy meant it, but still.
Oh yeah, I watched the fight, but I didn't see it well. Like I couldn't see the eye gouge well. Like, can you explain it to me?
I think he went to. I think he went to.
Because it was on the fence.
Yeah, he went to like move away from him, like or push him off, kind of thing, and his thumb went in the eye.
How much? Because like when I was watching it, it didn't look like a lot. Like
I don't think like I never really like would had my eyes think, but and you'd probably be better than us to think.
Yeah.
But I don't think it has to, like, you can just have, like, that on your... Sometimes you get, like, the whole thing pushed like that and it's not that bad if it goes into eyelid. But I think if you just got your actual eyeball scratched, it might be...
So did Duffy say that he can't see?
He said he was seeing double. And then he stopped, and I think, like, he copped a lot of criticism for it, but... I think it's one of those things like what you're saying.
Yeah,
like,
see, I'm the opposite. I'm stupid. I couldn't see, and I was telling the ref, I can see.
Yeah, and I think that's the...
Yeah. That was the case where I should have been honest. Like, I can't see the guy trying to gouge my eyes out, but instead of pretending like I could see when I couldn't.
And that's, I think, when you need someone to be like, no, dude,
like,
you fucking can't see.
Yeah.
Was that Duffy fight a no contest?
It might have been because it was in the first round like that. I don't know what the rules are like that. Because
I've been hit in the eye, punched in the actual eye, like taking a knuckle to the eyeball, and I see double.
Yeah,
like you see double. Like when the eye gets any sort of trauma, you kind of
Yeah.
unfocuses for a bit, and you see
Yeah, it's
double.
tough when you can't see. I mean, that was the only time I've had eye issues during that Palhares fight. But yeah, it sucks when you can't see.
Yeah, your situation is a little different.
Yeah.
You do it.
I've seen double when Henderson hit me. I think that was the other time in the fight when I was like seeing double. That wasn't from the eye though. That was just from the shot. I was like seeing like the double vision.
He put the thumbs in your
Yeah,
eye?
it wasn't his hands. He was taking the thumbs trying to gouge my eyes out. And he just kept doing it over and over. And the ref was just like, they kind of like low level fired that ref after. They didn't like, Nevada kind of acted like he didn't do anything wrong, but then like they did get rid of him at least. Can't remember who that was, name. I know he was famous for being a bad ref.
Yeah, I know who it is.
He was a guy who was famous for being terrible, and then they never used him after that again. But they didn't like say like, oh, he messed up. They're just kind of like, yeah, we need to get this guy out of here.
Is that the only thing that will happen with Palhares?
He got banned permanently
after
after that.
life. I think after that,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that was kind of the final straw. 'Cause he'd already been banned for like holding submissions too long.
Yeah,
And
he's
then
banned
that
from a
was
lot of
just-
different things.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
everything.
See, I remember seeing the photo you put up, and as well as, and then like all the reports and everything. And
Yeah.
I remember seeing the last one, which was like Palhares banned for life.
Yeah.
I was like, how didn't that get stopped in the fight?
That's what was insane. I can't believe the ref didn't stop it. I kept telling the ref, I'm like, he's doing it again. The ref's like, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. Like, you're not, though.
I think the photo is like him doing
Yeah, exactly.
this. Sorry. Go. No, that's it. Like that's the photo they
Yeah.
use. He's
His
like
thumb's fully
he's
in my
like
eyes.
this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you seen that submission grappling match, Avalan versus Palhares? Is it Avalan? Am I saying the name right?
I think so. I know you're talking about. I don't think I've seen that match, though. Is it a good match? Or?
No, the one where he rolls off the mat with a heel hook.
Oh, I have seen that. And he kept
Yeah.
cranking it, right?
Yeah, but then he escaped it, and then I was watching the match, and I was thinking, don't do it. You know how they restart you in the
they
submission?
restart you in the same
And he
position.
cranks it.
Dude, he's like, you ready? You ready? Yeah, cool. And dude, he did it like the guy, he ripped the guy's leg, man. And I was like, when I was watching it, I was thinking to the guy that was getting heel hooked.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, dude, don't, just fucking tap now. Like,
Yeah.
fuck. Would you compete with him again?
I wouldn't. There's no reason to compete against a guy like that. He's just, someone's going to cheat that bad. Why? And why give the guy a chance to make any money?
And hurt you permanently.
Exactly. When it's
Because I wonder that why do
yeah.
people compete?
And
with
everyone
him?
always bitches about him holding submissions too long, but to me, gouging the eye is a lot worse than that.
Yeah.
That's like you lose your vision.
Yeah,
but
me-
actually, Gordon Ryan's competing against him soon, which I trained with him out in New York. So hopefully he'll break something of him.
If someone's gone in.
Yeah, I think Gordon will smash him. He's a lot bigger. Like I said, I was destroying him until he started gouging my eyes.
He went up against Gary Tonin.
That was a great match.
Yeah.
That's one of the best grappling matches. Yeah.
And that was mental
Yeah,
as well.
they went at it. I think it was a draw with the rules, but I think Gary got the better of him for sure. Almost tapped him a couple times. They had a good roll.
Is he super strong?
He's fairly strong, but not like insanely strong. Not as strong as he looks. I feel like I was overpowering him.
And when he were you out for ages with your eyes like that?
Training wise, I was able to train fairly soon back. Took a few weeks off and I was able to start training. Vision was a little messed up for a few weeks, but luckily no serious damage.
Imagine that.
That's terrifying. The thing like he actually damaged your eyes.
And then Nevada suspended me after that
Before.
because I punched him after. So I was like, really, I'm gonna get suspended for punching this dude after he's gouging my eyes?
Oh yeah, you did too. Yes. 'Cause
Yeah.
He did the Kimura thing.
Yeah.
And then he didn't let go with the Kimura either.
Yeah, on top. Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah, I
even.
remember
Thing is, I
seeing
wasn't
the
even
clip.
mad about the old spin. I was so mad about the eyes. Everyone's like, "Oh, he held the submission too long." I'm like, "Yeah, did you see the guy gouge my eyes out? I'm more concerned about that."
That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, Nevada. Yeah, I can't believe Nevada suspended me after that.
How long were you suspended
I think
for?
it was like 3 months or something, but still,
yeah.
the fact that they suspended me at all and like fined me, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Big fine?
I think it was a few $1,000, but still, it shouldn't be anything after.
No, you should.
No,
what
you
that guy
shouldn't have to
did.
pay that. I wouldn't fucking.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fucking pay that. Fuck that.
Fuck it. So what's next for you? Like, what do you?
I basically just been doing submission stuff. I'm not like officially retired. I would possibly fight if it was a fight that interests me, but I mean, I'm staying in shape still. Not sparring all the time, but sparring a little bit, hitting pads and stuff, but mostly just doing grappling stuff. Been on these the pro submission circuit. It's been pretty fun.
Yeah, but you're tearing it up a bit.
Yeah, and then after, I mean, you know how stressful fighting is. After you go and fight, you go back and grapple. It's pretty fun. It's funny. Sometimes you go to these shows, you see these young guys that are all stressed out for a grappling match. I'm like, yeah, go try to do these fights. You want to see some stress.
But to be fair though, your resume and your fight lineup that you've had, you've fought killers from start to finish.
Yeah, so grappling's not too scary after that.
Yeah, I can't imagine it would be.
What's it like for you? Is if you were a young guy or somebody coming up trying to make a living in the grappling scene, what's it like now?
There's not crazy money in it. You can make a living, but it's still you still got to be really top level to make a living. There's like Gordon Ryan's making really good money, Craig Jones making good money. There's a few guys making good money, but it's still tough. But at least there is some money in it now, which is a big improvement from what it was, 5 years ago.
And you see, that's crazy in itself. Like you say like you have to be top level. Like top level.
Yeah, top 3, top 5.
Yeah,
exactly.
Gordon Ryan, top 5 exactly.
Yeah,
Craig Jones.
There's a few guys make good money. Most guys aren't making a living. You got to add in seminars or teaching and stuff to make a living off grappling. But at least there's some money in it. I think Gordon's making good money. I think he's making like close to $1 million or something a year. But that's like the one guy.
And he's like
the best in the world. Yeah, and so that's like the highest you can get grappling. But but it seems to be going up.
Yeah.
So there was no one making $1 million a year grappling a couple years ago. So.
The other thing with that is like what you just said now, because you're here doing a seminar tour and people go, like they talk about it, yeah, he just makes his living just flying around the world doing seminars.
Yeah.
And I think like it's not that easy.
Yeah, it's not that easy.
Can you talk us through what that's like doing, because you're doing 10 seminars in 14 days?
I usually don't do seminar tours like this. I don't do them very often because it's kind of tiring. But yeah, I hit 10 seminars, and it's it's fun. You get to travel, see a bunch of people, do different things. But it's also not something you want to do all the time because you're constantly switching hotels, traveling, not sleeping that much, so it gets tiring.
I was talking to Craig, and he was on our podcast as well, and he was talking about like just doing this, like he has to make a living, and he's doing well in grappling, so he has to grapple, get his prize money, then go and do like a bunch of seminars but you're not training while you're doing the seminars.
At least not much. You might get a little training, but it's hard training when you're doing the seminars.
Yeah.
Every guy has to come at you 100% for 3 minutes, then be gassed, and the next guy wants to go.
Yeah. And so he's saying all of that, and it's like it's not easy at all, eh? Like
no.
And mentally, you're fizzled out. Like you've just taught for 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you can't do. I used to do these trap takes occasionally. I think Craig told me he did. I think it was like 27 seminars in 30 days or something. Wow. But that burnt him out. He's like, I can't do that again.
He'll be lying at home with a dead cloth on his head.
That's a month.
No, that's what he's always, I can't do that again.
That's a month of seminars.
Yeah, a month of seminars, like every day. But that's why I think he's just been focused and training now, which has probably been smart. That's why he's feeling so good. He's in shape again and just ready.
Just take that time to just improve his skill set.
To improve, doing less seminars, and I think he's competing more now.
That's hard to think though. Like a month of seminars. Every day.
That's tough.
Every day, but in a different place.
Exactly. So you wake up, probably take a train somewhere else. He was in Europe, and get a new hotel, check in, do a seminar, same thing the next day. That'd be exhausting for a month.
That'd be awful, dude.
Yeah. So it's the easiest money. Yeah, it's not easy money. I'm sure he made a good chunk of money in that time, but still, it's hard work.
Yeah, gotta work for that.
Fuck that.
Gotta work.
And so you got any? Did you say you have any matches?
I just signed a big match at this new show, Third Coast Grappling. It's with I think it's Brawl Homolo. I don't follow. Okay. He's like a 6-time world champion.
Yeah,
he's like a really, really good guy. So that'll be interesting.
When is that?
December 7th. So it's cool going against one of the greatest grapplers, getting a chance to go against these legends in grappling. It's pretty cool.
How did you feel when you were going up against Maya?
Good. It was a tough fight, but it got the win. He's a 5-time world champion too. So it's cool going out there and beating these elite grapplers. But
the way you beat him as well, like you out-grappled him.
Yeah, took him to his world.
Yeah, so. and that was the thing you said, I'm going to out-grapple this guy?
Yeah, I think a lot of guys didn't think I could. Everyone's like, you shouldn't grapple him. Like, I can take him there and do fine. And I was thinking too, when you got a guy that's good of a grappler, I didn't really want him on top of me. So I figured it made more sense to try to take him down and get on top of him.
Mm. Yeah, that's a big thing. I think people don't look at. It's like, this guy's a great grappler, but when he's in control of the grapple.
Exactly. So if you try to stand with him, that's more likely to let him get the takedown and put him where he wants. So I'm thinking, if I take him down instead, I'm going to be in a lot better situation.
Yeah, I'm going to start this dance.
Exactly. Put it where I want it. Don't let him put me where he wants.
Yeah.
Okay. And when do you leave? When do you go home?
Tomorrow night. Fly in, go to Hawaii for a couple of days to relax before I go home.
It's good to unwind.
So, I had a layover in Hawaii, and I'm like, there's no way I'm getting a layover and getting on a plane without staying here for a couple of days.
Probably a good way to just unwind.
Yeah, I looked at that, and I'm like, layover for 2 hours in Hawaii. And I was, let me change this for a couple of days later.
You're also a single dad, eh, Jake?
Yeah, my daughter just started college, so kind of crazy.
We're the same age. My daughter's about to be born.
Oh, yeah.
And so you got a daughter, she's what, 20, 19?
18. Yeah, just started college a couple weeks ago.
So throughout your whole fight career, you also were a dad.
Yeah.
Basically a whole fight career, eh?
Yeah.
What was that like?
I mean, it's a lot of work, I guess. Luckily, my daughter's pretty easy for the most part. The first couple of years was really tough, of course, but then she was easy to deal with. So
That would have been hard, man.
yeah.
Hats off to you, mate.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah, being a parent is hard.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, especially
hard.
traveling all the time and stuff. But
yeah.
but luckily, yeah, she was pretty easy for the most part. So
Where's she going to college? Like in
Long Beach in Southern California.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just when I get back, I'm gonna go. Haven't been down there yet. Go down there and see her setup, what she's got going.
That's mad.
That's good.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for
man.
coming out. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Cool.
Andrew.
Thank you so much.
Cool, man.
Thank you.